Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are diving into something incredibly moving. It's a deeply triumphant message from a breast cancer survivor named Hikota-san. We're going to completely reframe how we view grief, how we handle isolation, and really uncover the hidden, incredible power behind our most profound emotional struggles. So get ready, because the perspective we're exploring today is, honestly, it's life-changing. Right off the bat, let's look at her core thesis. Hikota-san says the deceased are not gone. They continue to live on and encourage me even now. And wow, that really challenges everything we usually assume about death and memory, doesn't it? Her journey shows us that absolute loss doesn't have to be this final empty void. Actually, it can transform into a beautiful, continuing bond that constantly empowers us. It's a huge statement, I know, but as we walk through her story, you are going to see exactly how real this continuing bond can be. So starting with Section 1, Salvation from Isolation, Finding Community. To truly get Hikota-san's transformation, we kind of have to start at her lowest point. Think about the stark contrast between her two realities at the time. On one hand, she's navigating her kids' school community, feeling like literally the only sick mother in a sea of perfectly healthy people, just carrying this profound, heavy alienation all by herself. But then, the turning point. She reluctantly attends a meetup at a place called the Shachoko Cafe, and she walks into a room filled with 20 smiling cancer patients. Just shifting her environment to that shared space completely wiped out her alienation. Seeing them laughing, just talking about normal daily life, it was a massive shock. It instantly reset her emotional baseline and proved, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that she wasn't alone. Moving to Section 2, Irreplaceable Comrade, a True Best Friend. So it was in this very cafe, a place she didn't even want to go to in the first place, that she met someone totally extraordinary. A true comrade in arms who would change her whole perspective. This new friend was battling a really rare, incredibly difficult head and neck cancer called adenoid cystic carcinoma. And despite facing terrifying unknowns, struggling to even breathe as the illness progressed, and dealing with intense physical pain, she just flat out refused to passively accept her fate. She was so forward-looking, always highly proactive, constantly grilling her doctors about new treatments, and she engaged with everyone around her with this immense curiosity and this electric positive energy that just lit up the room. 20. I want you to think about that number for a second, because the sheer physical dedication it represents is staggering. Even while she was deeply sick, in pain, going through grueling treatments, her friend would sit down and handwrite 20 individual postcards for every single person attending those cafe meetups. She didn't just show up, she literally poured her heart out onto 20 cards, making absolutely sure that every single person in that room felt seen and valued. And, one of her frequent grounding messages on those handwritten cards was just simply, let it go, don't worry about it. It sounds so simple, right? But those precise, warm words became a permanent anchor of comfort for Hikota-san. Whenever she felt overwhelmed or anxious, just looking at those cards brought her friend's reassuring voice directly into her daily life. It soothed her in real time. Which brings us to Section 3, Connection Beyond Death, an Enduring Bond. As time passed, her friend's condition sadly worsened, and she eventually passed away in 2021. And look, seeing a loved one suffer is incredibly draining. The hospital and home visits sometimes made Hikota-san physically ill from the sheer emotional toll of it all. But she kept showing up. Why? Because she realized her role wasn't just to mourn the physical decline. Her friend had this repeated, somewhat desperate request, please don't forget me. Hikota-san realized that fulfilling that final wish meant shifting from passive grief to actively, deeply witnessing and remembering her friend's life and her incredible courage. And honestly, her friend made sure she wouldn't be forgotten either. She left behind these beautiful, tangible things, like self-published photo books of the moon, which she absolutely loved, and of course that massive collection of handwritten postcards. She ensured she wasn't just going to be a fading memory. Because of this, Hikota-san says today she literally feels like she has 2 brains and double the strength. It's like her friend is this active, guiding force living right inside her, acting as a compass, keeping her honest, and giving her the guts to face whatever comes next. And finally, Section 4, Emotional Muscle, the Value of Empathy. So how does this profound experience of grief translate into a life-saving message for the rest of us? Well, it introduces this beautiful concept Hikota-san calls emotional muscle. Now, obviously, that's not a medical term, but it perfectly captures the capacity for deep empathy and emotional resilience that you only get from enduring really painful experiences. She completely reframes emotional pain. It's not this meaningless, heavy burden anymore. It is the active, necessary building of your emotional muscle. Basically, every hurt is a rep in the gym of empathy. And if you look at how society is shifting, this makes so much sense. If you're feeling depressed or alienated right now, listen to this. Currently, our society is obsessed with rational efficiency, right? The glamorous, seemingly flawless people are the ones who thrive. But Hikota-san points out that we're heading into a future where machines and AI are going to handle all that logical, rational work. So what's left? Human emotion. It becomes our ultimate asset. Those who've built their emotional muscle, the people who truly understand pain and can offer genuine empathy, they're going to go from being marginalized to being the most treasured people in society. She even compares this struggle to earning a gold medal for the heart. Think about elite athletes. They spent years training in complete obscurity, pushing through agonizing pain just to win a piece of metal. Well, if you are battling mental health struggles, alienation, or severe illness, you are undergoing elite, intense training for your heart. Your suffering is not for nothing. It is a vital training period for your empathy, and one day it is going to shine so brightly. In the original recording of this message, which, by the way, incredibly took place on Hikota-san's own birthday, she leaves this tearful, just immensely powerful message to her late friend. She says, "I haven't forgotten you. Thank you. And I look forward to working with you from now on." It's absolute proof that true bonds completely transcend physical loss. They don't just end, they evolve. They continue to shape us and guide us, and honestly, they make us stronger every single day.
So I want to leave you with a final thought to really chew on today. If you are hurting right now, please remember that your current pain has a very real, profound purpose. You are actively building your emotional muscle. The world is changing fast, and it is going to desperately need people who deeply understand how to feel and how to truly connect. So how will you use that emotional muscle to shape your tomorrow? Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer. Keep building that strength, and I'll see you next time.